Hello fellow Chima fans, I'm the Lion Soldier and welcome to this week's video. Today we'll take a closer look at the most important information brought to us by Chima Channel's livestream with Tommy Andreasen. Starting with the most recent thing, being the Ninjago panel at Comic Con and Doug White spoke about Chima. So what does Tommy think about this? He said that he thinks it's super fun what they're doing with Chima. Upon asking what one thing from Chima he would like to see most in Ninjago Dragons Rising, he said that bringing Plover would be nice. Tommy just really likes that character and thinks he was fun, which is what Ninjago needs. He also mentioned he'd like to see some places such as Forever Rock or some ruins in Chima animal architecture style. This makes me just more hyped about the Plover show Jake has been working on. Speaking of Ninjago, I have something to tell you. Chima was supposed to run alongside Ninjago, so those mad fans who hate Chima because it was supposed to replace Ninjago are just all wrong. Also, now that we know that Chima is certainly coming back in some way, how would Tommy continue Chima after about 10 years? He said that a soft reboot will likely be the best option, maybe something like Laval on the Lion Throne, being the king now, would sound similar to the start of Chima Heroes. And of course, the show would open with ears flying in the sky. Now, an awesome detail about world building was shared by Tommy, and it's just so brilliant. I'll play you the clip from the stream.
But also, and I remember John Delaney and I, we were sort of discussing, okay, so the eagles write things down in books, the lions write things on scrolls, the wolves write down things on skins and hides. That means they don't do as much writing as the eagles. The gorillas write on leaves, but then the leaves rot and then that knowledge is gone. So that's sort of, okay, they don't have much history through the gorillas. So we came up with all these different ways where, okay, this is how they document the knowledge. And obviously the rhinoceros would chisel it into rock, but that's a long and time-consuming process. So that's why they're not the most learned of the animals. So there were really some good thoughts going into everything. All how those tribes worked. The bears would scratch theirs into bark, so that would eventually rotten and be lost. So you can see there with the eagles with their great libraries. Okay, they're really the scholars of this world, whereas some of the other ones are more primitive, and that's why their knowledge sort of get lost.
So that is really just incredible, I think. Also, a question about crawlers was asked, being what happened to the crawlers after the end of season 3. Now, Tommy said that they belong to the wild and likely still live in the outlands, but as a guy without life, I know the answer to this question. And it's a law, for it comes from the official LEGO channel. There were, I believe, 2 Chima mini-movies that took place after season 3 ended, maybe even a bit more. And let me just play you a clip from one of them. So while it's possible they still live in their caves, they still interact with the rest of Chima's tribes. And now, let's get into the unmade seasons of Chima, starting with the Quest for the Fire Wings arc. If you didn't know, this was supposed to be a 6-episode long arc, same as season 2. Unfortunately, Chima was cut short here. So what was supposed to be in it? We were supposed to learn more about Florax, who's the mother of Lynx, and if I got it correctly, she is the one who created Chi. Now, it's important to say that I'm not 100% sure here, as I feel like I misunderstood something. But I believe that she created atriums underground, where there was some greenery that then spread to the rest of the kingdom, possibly being the reason for Lush Chima. I believe she also created the Chi in there, and those atriums were protected by Minotaurs, gods of the Phoenix tribe. Those Minotaurs were meant to be encountered in the tunnels by the main heroes. And here's where I don't agree with London Enjoy's stream breakdown, which he posted on Discord, as I don't think minotaurs were supposed to be there instead of tigers and leopards, as we've seen Tormak and Lander way before Quest for the Firewings. I believe that minotaurs were supposed to be there on top of tigers and leopards, but again, I'm not sure about it. As you may know, there was also supposed to be a fourth season about a sort of vampire tribe. There were two main name suggestions for it, either Master of Light or Dark Cavora Rising. Acknowledging the fact that Tommy prefers Dark Cavora Rising, I will be calling it by this name. There was meant to be a Dark Mount Cavora that would just sort of fly towards the Chima with those vampires that would infect you by plugging a rat-infested chi into you. There were logistics workout as well as a concept video made, but unfortunately, we never got a season. And another idea for Chima season revolved around dinosaurs. So there is something called the passage of time under Forever Rock, which is interesting. Tommy just casually said, as in 2016 he tweeted that there is in fact a realm passage under Forever Rock. So realm and time passage it is. That's gonna be the single most awesome place in Merged Lands. But back to the Chima series concept. The main heroes of Chima were supposed to go through that passage back in time to about 10,000 years back, where a dinosaur tribes would be encountered. Those tribes would be humanoid like every other tribe. 5 or 6 most iconic dinosaurs would be picked, 3 of those being pterodactyls, triceratops, and T-Rexes. I'm really sad that Chima was discontinued, as this sounds absolutely amazing. But that is most of the huge stuff said. There were also many more things, though those weren't too much on the lore side, I feel. You can see a list of some other things they talked about during the stream, which I encourage you all to watch if you haven't yet. It is truly amazing. There are so many concept arts shown, but I haven't shown you most of these as I really don't want to steal content. So please, go show some love to Chima channel, he really deserves it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you'll stumble upon my channel once again. But until then, have a great life.